everybody, welcome. I'm so happy to be here again today with you on Thursday at 1 o'clock. I'm Jenni June. I'm a child and family sleep expert, sleep coach and consultant here in Los Angeles since 2011, and I've worked with thousands of families, thousands of you, on a variety of different things that present when you are working to teach your child some healthy sleep habits and some consolidated sleep at night, some good sleep hygiene to help further along the development of good healthy sleep cycles and overall development. So some of the questions I get, I like to bring to the table here and help you out with while we're doing our live sessions. So the one today that we're going to address is what to do when baby rolls over during sleep training. Like, what do they, around sometimes, I mean, I see a lot of, 4-month-olds doing this. And I've had a handful of little 3-month-olds, like, when all of a sudden they're flipping over onto their stomach on their own in the crib during nap times or bedtime. And it freaks parents out, especially when it happens that early, because the average is somewhere between, 5 and 6 months, right around there. But I would say I'm seeing a lot more of babies do this younger, around 4 months old. That's precisely why, and I always like to start with safety before we, dig into any of these little challenges that we face when sleep training or teaching healthy sleep. We want to make sure the sleep environment is healthy. And yes, this is my friend here sitting with me. I don't know why I'm like, bringing a few of my stuff down, all of my teaching dolls and stuff down and organizing my office right now. But so I just thought, I'd let this one hang out with us. I haven't given it a name. If any of you have any ideas, just throw them down there in the comments. But we want to make sure that your child is safe. Once they start rolling over, that's when you really want to integrate a full-size crib into the sleep situation. You want to get them out of the bassinets, the rock and plays and the co-sleepers and things like that, because once they start rolling over, then things start to happen pretty quickly after that on a physiological level, like just developmentally with those gross motor skills. And they start to learn they get stronger, they start learning to pull themselves up or push up a little bit on their hands. And once their little chin comes above the railing, the sidebar or whatever on the co-sleeper or the bassinet, if they, kind of get it up over that level, they're head heavy. They could roll out and fall out of that sleep environment. So stay 2 steps ahead of your child and integrate them into a full-size crib at that point. And whether or not you choose to keep them in your room or in a separate sleep environment is up to you. And you can check with the AAP recommendations for safe sleep. Many now are choosing to room share up into 6 months or the 12 months. That has just been kind of put out there by the AAP recently. I just want to say hi to my friends who are joining me. Hi, you guys, Mark and Family League and Baby League and all y'all. It's so good to see you. And all right, so let's dive into it. What do we do when our little one kind of starts rolling over? Hopefully at that point, you've started dropping the swaddles and you've integrated into a sleep sack as well. That's another safety issue. We want to make sure that the baby can clear their airway, push up, move their hands, if they should roll over onto their stomach accidentally, and clear that airway. And if they're in one of those sleep suits, which I'm not a fan of, or they're swaddled with their hands, pressed up against their chest, or, they're confined and they can't use their hands to push up on their stomachs, push up on the mattress and clear that airway, then you want to be definitely aware that it's time to get them in a sleep sack at that point. And they can roll over in a sleep sack, which is great. Now here's the problem. They roll over, when this process initially begins, they roll over onto their stomach, but they haven't figured out how to roll back over onto their back. And sometimes they get themselves in that position and they get frustrated. They feel stuck. They don't know how to get back over onto their back. Maybe it's a little temporarily uncomfortable for them because it's a new position that they haven't slept in before. When they're younger, around that 4-month mark, if you haven't started formally sleep training or doing anything behaviorally with sleep at all, if you feel like it's causing your child to freak out on an extreme level, and you're just not ready to do any of that yet with sleep, go ahead and just go in and just gently help them roll back over, but without any other contact or engagement. That's kind of key, because if you provide too much engagement, if there's too much incentive for them to roll over onto their stomach because it brings you into the room to engage with them, then they're going to do it all night long, knowing that it's going to bring you in for engagement. Then it becomes all fun and games at that point, and it starts to really mess with their sleep, starts to fragment it even more, which will definitely accumulate a sleep debt quickly, and then you'll be calling me. Not that I mind, but we want to help you guys learn to just look at the big picture and instead of just putting a band-aid on things all the time, so that you guys can evolve your parenting responses to meet and match your child's evolving, developing needs for sleep. So you can roll them back over, but do it in the dark. Do it without using your voice, maybe a little shush padding, but that's it. And then roll them back over and leave the room. And that will prevent them from wanting to do it over and over again all night long. Now, once they get a little bit older, 5-6 months, this is when they actually, you need to let them, you need to, set them up for success, make sure they're in a safe environment. The 4 pillars of sleep hygiene should be in place so that it's easy for them to, put themselves back to sleep. But they need the opportunity to practice doing this on their own. If we're constantly going in and you rescuing them or doing the work for them, then we're going to start arresting their development in this way. The ability to learn, or have even the incentive to learn, which is key in learning, the incentive to learn, to pull, to roll themselves back over onto their back if they don't like being on that stomach position. So, if we're always going in and rescuing them because we are concerned about the temporary struggle that they're going through, then we will have a situation that is impossible to jump out of. At some point, you're going to have to do that. There's no exit strategy for this other than standing back and, letting your child take the step forward and learn to do this. Now, temporary struggle is okay, you guys. In this parent culture, we have lumped all tears into one category. The category where it's like battery acid and it's going to fry your kids' face off. God forbid they should shed a tear. There's a difference between tears of temporary struggle while learning a new skill or adapting to a new routine or a new sleep environment versus tears of suffering. We always respond immediately to tears of suffering, but struggle is a good thing. And we need to allow that to take place and not let it freak us out simply because, it's producing a few tears or some whining or some, just some frustration that we can see on the baby monitor. It's okay for them to get frustrated. It creates incentive to learn, to adapt to, and to move forward with this exciting new skill. And it's okay for them to express that it's kind of hard. All change is hard, even good change. And it includes a couple of days of struggle until we get to the other side of it. And so this is just a normal developmental thing, and it's going to happen when they learn to sit up or crawl or walk. There's going to be times when they fall over or they lose their balance or it doesn't work out for them to be, something happens and they fall over. And so it's a constant struggle to master those skills. And they do cry or fuss or whine or get angry or mad or frustrated. Those are normal feelings while, embarking on those new developmental skills. And they keep doing it in spite of how frustrating it is, don't they? Because it's exciting, it's new, and it's natural to want to learn and evolve and develop in that way. So don't be worried about those kinds of tears. Give them a few minutes to figure it out. But if they know that you're always going to come in simply because you're tired and you don't want to hear them crying in the middle of the night and you just want to get back to sleep, so you're slapping a Band-Aid on the situation and you're putting them in a swaddle again to prevent them from rolling over or something like that, or doing the work for them, then it's just going to prolong their struggle, and that's not fair to them. All right, so another thing that you can do is to help this process along by making sure you are practicing with this budding, new, exciting skill during the daytime, in between naps. This is one thing I notice parents do not do with their children, and this is what causes nap regressions in a lot of situations, especially around the 1-year mark when the child is learning that all-encompassing, exciting, gross motor development skill of walking, standing, cruising furniture, all of that. But it starts, make sure you're really doing a lot of tummy time, that your child is, you're getting on the floor with them. You're putting some exciting, stimulating toys, beneath their, in between, in this space on the floor, where they're pushing up to have to look at it. Move it back and move it toward them. and, you know, wait for them to kind of reach out and push and start using these core skills of pushing up on their hands and developing that core and aligning their head with their chest. And we'll get more into that. Actually, I've got a little teaser for you. That's a teaser for what I'm going to announce here at the end of this video, so hang on. But you also want to just kind of help them a little bit, sometimes raising the edge of the side of the blanket where they're kind of like rolling over a little bit, and then let them do the rest of the work to roll all the way over. And just maybe sometimes, I used to take my children when we were doing tummy time and learning this skill, I would just take, while they're on their stomach, take one of their feet, and here, we'll use you, little guy. Somebody needs to name him. Anybody got a name? Throw some names out there. All right, so when you're doing tummy time with your baby, sometimes you can just take their little leg right here and just kind of give it a little nudge and pull the leg kind of over to this one side a little bit, you know, where, well, this isn't very flexible, but it kind of, and just see if they'll roll themselves, the rest of themselves, all the way over on their own, and just kind of practice those little things. You know, get creative. There's no right or wrong way to do this, just so you know. But with that said, I've got a little announcement. Today I was at the Breathe Institute with a collaboration of incredible practitioners, doctors, specialists in the varying fields of infant and child development and care, a variety of therapists, incredible list of the best here in Los Angeles. They are well, they're seasoned, they're excited about the new things developing and coming about in all of this exciting area of child development and parenthood and child health and safety and all kinds of therapies. They've been practicing for dozens of years, and they're always on the cutting edge of new research and development in their fields. We're talking a whole nother level of genius practitioners. And I thought it was interesting when I walked in there today. It was like a special little meeting, kind of we call it a collab, a collaboration, but laboratory where we learn from each other in our different specialties, and we collaborate and we stay on the cutting edge with education in these important areas for child development and safety and therapies and all of that, for infants and older children as well. But I've got some specialists, you guys, that we're going to be bringing to these Facebook Live shows starting quickly, very soon, in a few weeks. There's a few of them actually who really just blew my mind with what they do in movement for kiddos. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I'm going to be presenting. A lot of specialists that I'm going to be interviewing. They're going to give you some incredible tips. You're going to get to know them. We're going to do some fun giveaways. We're going to do a lot of great stuff, and I'm going to introduce the best to you. And I'm super excited to do that. Because I think sometimes we plateau, we get stuck with old information, and we need to stay on top of stuff because our babies are important to us, and we want to make sure they're getting the very best care. So the Breathe Institute in Los Angeles, thebreatheinstitute.com is someplace you might want to visit and keep on your radar. We're going to be doing some great stuff. I call it my inner circle. So pretty soon I'll be bringing my inner circle to you on these Facebook Live conversations, and you guys are going to be able to ask them questions live, and they're going to answer back to you live, and it's going to be really fun and really exciting. So stay tuned for that, and that's going to also include movement with all of this stuff. So I just kind of gave you a little teaser for that. But when it comes to sleep training, when you guys were heading back over here, and then we're going to close it up, and I see Dylan is with us. Hi, Dylan. Thank you. So when we are sleep training, here's the thing: when you've got your older baby, and they're kind of now, you know, they're flipping over on their stomach. They look like they're attempting to make the roll back over, but they're not quite there yet. I want you to consider, again, not going in and doing the work for them. Let them experience the struggle that creates incentive to do it themselves. And I promise you, especially if you're implementing the 4 pillars of sleep hygiene, which is really going to keep them well rested and healthy sleep cycles, and the skills in place for them to, you know, be able to concentrate and focus and perform better in these areas. Let them learn to do it themselves. It only takes a couple of days. It's unbelievable how fast it develops. My clients are always shocked, and they're really, really shocked that, you know, the struggle is minimal compared to what they thought it would be. At first, it's a little bit, you know, maybe for the first day or two, they notice that, you know, it's, you know, the child is really kind of frustrated with it, but beyond that, it's easy all the way through. So, I mean, they just need the opportunity to practice without us getting in the way of that. Okay, so that's really it. Super simple, guys. I just wanted to make sure you knew, you know, what it's going to look like, and give yourselves permission to discern the difference between tears of struggle versus tears of suffering. When we start getting that discernment back as parents, which we used to have a couple decades ago, I think we're going to do some great things. And our babies need us to do that for them and to support them along the way. And that's what the 4 pillars of sleep hygiene do. That's my trademark work, as I am a sleep consultant here in Los Angeles. It is the secret sauce, the glue and the foundation to my success, to my family's success when I work with them with sleep training. If you have any questions about that, or want to contact me and tell me a little bit about your child's sleep issues, and I work with young babies all the way through teenagers and even adults. So you can send your information over to me. You can tell me your story, your struggles, and I'll be happy to respond to you and provide you with everything that you would need to move forward should you decide to work with me on a one-on-one basis. And I'll keep you updated on the new and exciting things that are happening as well. And you can see that on my blog page on jennijune.com. That's my website. My services and pricing are there. jennijune.com, and that's Jenni spelled with an I, and then June is in the month. Everything you need is there, and I look forward to answering your emails, and I look forward to answering your comments below. So send them to me. I'm ready for you. You guys have a great week, and we'll see you next time, Thursday at 1 o'clock right here on my Facebook page. All right. See you later. Bye, guys.